Hispanic man crushed these crackers with hand!
So ignoring that perfectly good waste of crackers, this episode is very... I don't know, I guess I'm mixed on it, but let's get into it. So the episode pretty much begins with Pinkie Pie being invited to, I forgot what it's called, it is so hard to remember that, thing. But Pinkie Pie's invited to a festival going on with the Yaks, and when she goes over, pretty much the whole festival is the Yaks stomping about and causing a ruckus. And she also gets a grand tour of Yakistan and otherwise. But what ends up happening is that during all of this stomping, a freaking avalanche happens, and while they try their best to dig out the snow, they eventually hit the point where they're just like, you know what, never mind, we're just going to let the snow melt and otherwise. Pinkie consistently asks if she wants to, if she can help them in any way, or if even bring her friends, but of course, Prince Rudifer, I don't remember the name, the Prince of Yakistan kept on saying, no, Yaks don't need help, Yaks tough, Yaks don't need pony help, and pretty much Pinkie's caught in the middle of this situation of whether she should help the Yaks even though they don't want it, or if she should just stay listening to what the prince wants because she wants to maintain good relations with the Yaks. What ends up happening though is that pretty much Pinkie Pie calls out a story that the prince tries to bring up, which it kind of seems like a very obvious line otherwise, just to prove why Yaks are so tough. And of course Pinkie gets kicked out of Yakistan. So she goes back to her friends, they come in stealthily and fix the town, and honestly the prince is actually happy that Pinkie did this. Because, you know what? This is a message I can honestly get behind in some way. Think about it for a minute. Sometimes one of your friends is going to need help, but they will not accept it. I'm actually a great example of this. I don't like asking for donations, I don't like accepting help from my friends, but my friends, whenever they feel like I do need the help, they'll give it to me anyways because they know I need it. They can't just keep thinking, oh, I don't want to upset him by giving him help. He needs help. We need to go do that. That's what Pinkie did. She pretty much helped him regardless of what he felt like. And even though she did that, going against his wishes of helping him, he was appreciative of the help. He pretty much was like, I didn't ask for this, but you know what? I appreciate it. And that's a message I can get behind. As someone who suffers from this problem myself and can honestly relate to it so heavily, it is a good message. I don't mind the Yaks in this episode. Granted, the prince is way too over the top and stubborn, but guess what? So am I. I'm stubborn as hell when it comes to accepting help, and you can ask any one of my friends or viewers that know me well enough. I will not accept help even when I plainly need it. So all in all, what do I think about this episode? I kind of like it, yeah. Now that I relate it more to myself and I think about it more deeply, I kind of actually like this episode. The Yaks and the prince were over the top and such, but it was understandable because the prince himself was a character who doesn't like help, but will not disregard it if he's given it. Because at the end, he was given help, and he accepted it. In fact, he was happy that Pinkie helped him against his against his wishes. And it's good that Pinkie did that, because she knew how badly the Yaks were suffering. I'm glad the episode went in this sort of way instead of just making it out like a rebellion to get the prince to change his ways or otherwise. Because, let's face it, there are characters like this who won't accept help when they plainly need it, but when you do give it to them, they'll be appreciative of it. It's a good message, and I like this episode for it. And that's my speed impressions on not asking for trouble.